Now that we explored how to use both the character and paragraph formatting options, it's worth mentioning how you can save these formattings and reuse them either in the same project or even in other Illustrator projects that you are going to work on in the future. So the key is to work with text styles. You can find these again under the window menu, type, and there's two separate panels once again, character styles and paragraph styles. So let's start again with character styles. It actually opens up both panels at the same time. So I'm going to just put these under each other so we can see them both at the same time. And let's say I would like to save this formatting that I have here. I can just simply put my cursor in there or even highlight this whole word. And what I can do is to click on this icon here to create a new character style. So it's going to call it character style 1, and I can see all the options here in the character panel as well. And if you want to tell what is actually stored in the character style, you can test that out very easily by selecting another word, let's say, and clicking on character style 1. So immediately we can see that the formatting is clearly the same as the one that I saved. But if I want to make amends to this, what I can do is to double click on character style 1, with which I will open up this dialog box that lists all the formatting options. And of course, it's something that you can update here. So you will find categories like basic character formats, where you can change all these options that you can see here. You have advanced character formats, scaling, baseline shift, rotation. And then we have the color, of course, which you can also change. And then you even have open type features. Again, this is a little bit more specific, so I'm not going to talk about this. But what I'm going to show you, what happens if I change something like the font style. In this case, with this font, I have inline and solid versions. So once I change to solid, notice, having the preview on, I can see immediately that not only this version, the one that was currently selected, will update, but also the original one. So the one that I created the style from. And that's the key about using text styles, that you will be able to keep them consistent. Because you are using a style and updating the definition of the style, all the changes that you do in this dialog box will update all the instances wherever that style was in use. So by clicking on OK, let's try this once again. I select another word, maybe that one up there, choose character style 1, and another word I'm going to select up here. It's best to double click on a word, that's the fastest way to select it, and then apply our character style. So once again now, if I want to change the color of this, instead of going up here and changing the color, I could go into the character style to update the color. Because if I change the color on a selection, it will actually be slightly different from the definition that I saved. And the way Illustrator tells us that is by putting a little plus sign next to the name of the style. So that means it's slightly amended. So there's two options that we have here. We can either go into the panel menu and choose clear overrides, which would reset it back to the original color that was saved in the character style. Or I could even choose redefine character style, which will update the style definition, which means also, if I click on this, that all the other instances will update with the new color. Working with text styles will be more important when you use InDesign, because there you will have a lot of text to work with, but it can still be useful here in Illustrator. And luckily, even Photoshop has a quite similar setup where you will find character and paragraph styles. And once you understood how to work with character styles, it will make sense how a paragraph style works. It's almost exactly the same thing. That's something that not only will save character formatting options, but on top of that, it can also save all the paragraph formatting options, which remember we had in the paragraph panel. So alignment, hyphenation, justification, indent, space before and after, so on and so forth. So let's save this indented and italicized text as a paragraph style. having that selected, if I click on new, that's again saved it. But now if I select another paragraph like this one here, I can very quickly set it to the same style. And once again, if I double click on this, we will be able to find all the options in here that will include all these additional things that we didn't have in a character style, like justification, tabs, indents and spacing. But of course, it also has all the options for the basic character formatting. So this is all great, and it's something that you can rely on when you work on a project. So within one project, obviously, all these styles that you save will be accessible. And the way you can make them accessible for later on in other projects is by saving them into your Creative Cloud. So the way you do that is by using the Add Selected Style to my current library. So the panel that we will be talking about in the last chapter of this course is called Libraries, and that would show you all the different libraries that you have. So you can always create new libraries, but if I select one of my older libraries, now if I click on saving or adding this currently selected style, it will immediately show up here as a character style, and I can do the same thing with a paragraph style as well. So there you go, it's both saved. And the good thing about using the libraries panel is that even if I create a new document, so I go to File, New Document, we won't see the styles in the panels, so in the character styles and paragraph styles panels, we don't see them, but we will still have them available here from the libraries panel. So if I use the type tool and I just click somewhere, I can immediately bring back that character style that we used in the previous project. So that's all I wanted to show you about reusing or repurposing formatting that you used on text in an Illustrator project. And in the next video, we will have a little bit closer look at the font selector and an amazing feature called Type Kit.